Welcome everybody to another edition of the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Masters League going on. I'm your host Wagish Godslebhan. Unlike a lot of people who presume that I'm an analyst, I'm a host. The actual analyst is sitting here, Zara Angela Gonzalez. Welcome on the show, Zara.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Zara, you want to, okay.
We had to do the hype?
Yeah.
I'm so excited about today's games, guys. I mean, we have got only 2 games lined up. There are no 3 games. Wagish is going to tell you more about them. God Slayer is going to tell you more about them.
Yeah, so if you're wondering why, like Wagish is like so under the weather and Angela is more like Wagish, it's got a lot to do with the fact that Wagish is really, really not well.
Yeah.
Delhi summers have induced dehydration and low blood pressure. So today's edition of the ESL India Premiership, we also come with a plea to all you guys, the viewers. Do send in whatever chocolates you have at 119 Nodwin Gaming, Sector 31, Gurgaon. We appreciate any amount, whatsoever amount of chocolates indeed. No reasons asked, no reasons given, except dehydration and low blood pressure. Acha, oh, production has also informed me that they don't want raisins in the chocolate. So normal milk chocolate will also do. Dark chocolate, delicious. But moving on, let me remind you that all of this beautiful tournament has been brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX, Intel, and presented to you by none other than Nodwin Gaming and ESL. So now moving with the thick of things here, we have a Clash Royale match in the offing. Angie, we have Deepak Mehu Mehta and Tahir Devil's Twin Sharif. So before I head off to you, let's quickly take a look at these two players.
Definitely.
Let's know who Deepak Mehu Mehta is. All right, so that's Deepak Mehu Mehta, man from Chennai. Already last time I spoke about him also. We spoke about him at length, apart from the usual banter and the fun frolic we were doing. Pretty decent player. I have seen his gameplay often since the previous year's ESL India Premiership, and I gotta say, he's one of the best we have in CR.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this player in 2017 had a good run. But I would also like to say, like, in 2017 to 2018, the change in gameplay has affected the player quite a bit. He's already played about 2 games as of now in the ESL India Premiership summer season. But he's also played against 2 really, really veteran players, Beast and Rin. And he's taken losses against them. But today's game against Tahir looks very interesting to me because, I mean, this player is pretty good. His favorite card is the Bandit. And I'm not hoping that Tahir would ban out the Bandit card. Now, if this doesn't happen for Mehu, I could see him rolling his whole deck around this card and maybe taking victories.
But then again, before we head off into delve into more details about the players, let's quickly talk about before we talk about Tahir, let's quickly see Tahir Devil's Twin Sharif first. All right, that's Tahir Devil's Twin Sharif. Now coming back to what I was trying to say, Angie. So, see, my belief is the fact it's very akin to how Dota or CS also, it's akin to any game actually. Like the buffs and the nerfs, how the meta is constantly evolving and changing. Like, for example, earlier, like there's so many new cards also. Like, for example, the Royal Ghost. Yeah, I was seeing this very intense video of somebody using a mirror card with a Royal Ghost, and that was absolute damage. I don't know what that guy did. I think he had an Elixir tank. He had an Elixir card. He used that. Then he used a Royal Ghost. He used a mirror, and then he used a Stone Golem.
And if you didn't know, the mirror actually upgrades whichever card you're playing by 1 level. So if your Royal Ghost is level 1, when you mirror the card,
level 2.
It's level 2.
So that means 2 level 2 Royal Ghosts, and that guy, I think it was pretty. Somewhere in the middle of the game, he used an Elixir tank, Royal Ghost, made a card, and then on top, like, it's like adding insult to injury. They threw in a golem also, like, acha, we'll just do it. And that was absolute wreckage. I loved it. I don't play that, like, I don't play the game, but I follow it on and off, and I realized a lot of meticulous planning and thinking goes behind. I realized all good players, like for example, when you mentioned that the Bandit is Deepak Mehudi's favorite card, as you can see, and Tahir also on that point of matter is not really different in terms of the crown levels
Yeah.
when it comes to Mehudi. But again, basing your entire play on one card and one card alone would be a very big gamble to
It's a
take.
gamble. It's a
It's
gamble.
always a big gamble to take. You should always have a revolving deck.
Yeah.
Like I see Gotham, I see Workaholic, I see Super XL,
Yeah.
I see you and Shred play CR.
Yeah.
I see you guys have contingency decks, and I
Correct.
like that. Everybody should have contingency decks. Like
It's
for example,
risky.
like now Deepak got just saved by a Whisker. He's got a giant band, and Tahir has
banned
banned
the Dark
a
Prince.
Dark Prince.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying? Like your entire gameplay on one single card can't be your backbone.
And then also to cover that fact, I mean, if you play the card more than twice, your opponent is going to understand what your strategy is.
True.
And then he's going to just play against your strategy very well.
Yeah.
And when we talk about Tahir in general, this guy is from Bangalore. One of my favorite. I'm
Mine
not
too,
gonna-
mine too. Have been seeing
favorite
him
Clash
for a
Royale
lot of land
players.
finales.
Yes.
What a lovely chap. Has got
And
an
he
excellent
casts some
bubbly personality.
Good Clash Royale too. I mean, I've heard this guy cast in about 2-3 games, and
Yeah.
he's brilliant, and he's such a jovial person. I would have to be a little personal away and say that I'm going to root for him in this game because it's been a while since I played him play. But in the summer season, this player, at least till now, not played on our screens, but offline, he's played 3 games till now. He's taken 1 win, but he's taken 2 losses also against Beast again and Kamal. Beast being one of those really scary players.
Beast
in the
is like
2018
what
series.
you know what who Beast reminds me of.
Beast.
Beast reminds me of Mrinmoy Tahir
In
in
2016.
2016, and then can production tell me the name of the player who always used to throw stone golems and he rose like from Hasib.
Hasib.
Hasib Nazir, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
In 2017, then that stone golem guy, Hasib Nasir, crazy rise.
Yes.
You could see the flair, the timing, everything. It's like a big Lego set, and everything's fitting in perfectly
True.
together. You know, you can't find a problem,
Yeah.
except the problem itself is the fact that they're just too good at some point in
That's
time.
true.
So that's really exhilarating to see.
And these 2 players, I mean, we've seen them evolve over the seasons of ESL India Premiership. I mean, they sometimes people tell me that the ESL is so long, it's a 9-month thing. But every player who enters the ESL India Premiership, when he finishes a particular season, he has grown by miles in his gameplay,
Leaps
in
and
his
bounds,
understanding,
leaps
his
and bounds.
confidence. So these 2 players, as far as I see, I mean, I wish it's a 3-2 fight.
Yeah,
We
and
see all
since
5
you
games.
mentioned about the people saying that ESL is so long, it's 9 months long.
Yeah.
Think about it this way: in 9 months, you will never know how the meta is going to change, how the cards are going to get buffed and nerfed.
Yeah.
And it's like an incubation. Think of the ESL India Premiership as an incubation program also, while you're thinking of it as a tournament.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, the players grow leaps and bounds, but it's not just at the end of the Premiership. It's during the seasons also.
True.
Whatever nerfs or buffs happen, the players have to adjust themselves within that gamut, be better at what they
Yeah.
do, because you never know. Any kind of a boost or like a nerf could affect a challenger level player, and you never know, there may be a second Hasib Nasir.
Correct.
Like they'll just keep throwing that card. So evolution is the name of the game. I think
True.
ESL has very beautifully facilitated that kind of evolution through incubation also. Whatever changes happen, they're deemed to become part. They're supposed to become part of the entire players' gamut of play. But that brings us to the end of our banter. We will be moving off to our esteemed caster, main man. When I use the word main man, I'm saying main man, I am definitely not at all using the pun for Lobo, the last Zarnian from the DC comics.
Yeah.
I'm using that for the main man because he is the main man here at Nodwin. Goes by the name Workaholic. Over to you, buddy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the main man, Gautam Workaholic Virk. As per Vagish, thank you for that great intro there. And thank you, Angela, for breaking down the 2 players. These guys, again, very familiar names from last year, Mehudi and Devil Swin. Both of them have spent a lot of time in the Masters League. However, both of them have not seen great success so far in the LAN events. I believe none of them actually have got the first prizes. Has any of them made it to top 3 though? Not even top 3. But these guys are pretty much like India's like the fifth, sixth kind of players, which they're again every year pushing very hard, playing very well. Devil's Twin, Mehudi, both of them are great, great players, and they are trying to cross that barrier into good finishes at LAN events. So far, they've had good success, but not able to crack open the top three positions. But here we are. This is the third year that we're doing Clash Royale. It's been a very very long journey to come here also, and it's a pleasure to see both these players again. Seeing those familiar faces always feels good. We can kind of start making a sense of what's going on here. Mehudi has a defensive tower. Devil's Twin is running a heavy deck here. He has the Inferno Dragon and the Mega Knight. Mega Knight actually connects there. He's going to do a lot of damage. Mehudi in a lot of trouble while I stopped and did their intros already. Mehudi's about to lose his tower, and you can see how tanky the Mega Knight is. He does a lot of damage when he jumps on your tower, and then consistently he has a lot of armor also. Very, very tough card to bring down. Devil's Twin is off to a great start in this first game. It is a best of 5, so not to worry about here. Mehudi going for an interesting deck here. He has a bowler. We don't see bowler that much nowadays. He's going for a fast cycle Hog there. Hog able to get a couple of hits in there. Did a pretty good damage there. Double elixir time. They're trying to make something happen. 2 big cards on Devil's Twin's side here, and he has a lot of little cards here and there to kind of cycle the deck there. And this spells trouble. I think Mehudi might end up losing this game. He doesn't even have Zap to stop the Inferno Dragon. It's 2 of them now. It seems like it's going to be a 3-crown victory already. There's 20 seconds left on the clock, and Mehudi was not expecting this, not having enough anti-air there to take this down. Had an Inferno Tower, but not good enough. Quite an offensive push being pushed up by Tahir there, taking game 1 in his favor. 1-0 is the score of this best of 5. I do want to take this time and let all the Counter-Strike players, or sorry, not players, the viewers who are waiting for the Counter-Strike match. There is no Counter-Strike match today. It has been cancelled. I believe SRA, they forfeited. One of the players is really unwell, and they didn't have a backup player. So Counter-Strike match will not be happening today at 7 o'clock. We will actually have the Dota 2 match at 7. So the 8 o'clock Dota 2 match will happen at 7 today. That's a small change that's happening in the schedule just for today. I guess we will be back to a normal schedule starting tomorrow. So CSGO fans, don't worry, we'll be back with more CSGO starting tomorrow. But however, no Counter-Strike today. But we do have exciting Clash Royale matches coming up. So let's get into the game 2 of Deepak Mehudi versus Tahir Devil's Twin. Game 2, you can see the banned cards. Interesting bans, the Giant and the Royal Knight, sorry. The Dark Prince, my bad. There's too many cards. Interesting set of cards being thrown down. Both of them spawner cards here, and we already know what's going on. Mehudi has minor poison chip. He has the Goblin Hut to defend. And he also has the P.E.K.K.A. If push comes to shove, he's gonna drop the big boy down, and he's gonna be like, you know what? Let's see what you got. Devil's Twin realizes this. Interesting card on his side also. If the Goblin Hut is out of rotation, this balloon is gonna go straight to his house and it's gonna do a lot of damage. But look at that, Mehudi actually has Sparkies. Mehudi does not have Sparkies anymore. He had Sparkies. Oh man, that was one card to help him out there. Sadly loses that, and that tower, he's gonna lose that tower very quickly also. Barely any health left there. Interesting bit to note there, the Miner versus the Ghost. By the way, Miner does a lot more damage to units compared to the buildings. Buildings have a much higher armor. Actually, they're also made of cement compared to the Ghost, who is made out of ghostly things. However, keep in mind, Miner does do extra damage. I think twice as much damage to units. I believe he does 150 damage to units compared to below sub 100 for buildings. Here comes the fireball. The tower's down to 63 health. Is he low enough to do a zap at 63? No, he's not. I think zap does 40 damage. Thanks for correcting me. Production team is great, by the way. Um, Now, Mehudi does have the answer to the balloon if it shows up. Double elixir time has gone live, and the moment the double elixir time actually starts and the P.E.K.K.A comes down, and P.E.K.K.A is actually now switching towards the right-hand side. Now the balloon is out, the Sparkies are also out, and they are targeting the balloon, and the fireball kind of clears that up fairly quickly. Balloon does get a hit away and will do death damage. So tower will take some damage here, but nothing to worry about right now. But he does need to worry about the Inferno Dragon, which is approaching his base very, very fast. He has some Sparkies that he can hold down to, but this Inferno Dragon has locked on, and he's doing a crap load of damage there, bringing it down to 900 health. This is now worrisome enough for him to now make something happen now. Let's see now how Mehu is potentially going to come back into the game, because this is looking very difficult for him. The score has been equalized at the moment. The two towers are down, but Mehudi's base tower is in shambles at the moment. Less than 100 health, and again the balloon does not connect, but it does do the death damage, bringing it down to a below 1000 altogether. This is now going to be quite interesting, actually. Let's see. Let's wait and see how these players play this out. Mehudi needs to keep those Sparkies alive, but the fireball and the way the Sparkies kind of stack up together just destroy the Sparkies go down very, very quickly. Sparkies should come out and the fireball will follow through. Yes, it does. The knowing Sparkies are out of question. The balloon is actually going to make it to the tower, and this is GG, my friends. Game 2 going in favor of Devil's Twin right now. It is a best of 5, so the games are not over yet. Mehudi still has not a lot of chances. He needs to win all 3 games in a row if he wants to win this game now, because another loss means that he's lost his best of 5. So a lot of pressure on Mehudi here, and Tahir now needs to just close the game. I want to take this time and talk about the people who are powering this amazing tournament. By the way, this is Omen by HP, is our title sponsor. We have HyperX, we have Intel, we have Red Bull, and we have the organizers of this tournament. That is Nordwind Gaming. We together here bring the pinnacle of esports of India to you every day at the same time, and it's absolute a pleasure to be here casting these games for you. So let's get into game 3 of Tahir, Devil's Twin versus Deepak Mehudi Mehta. Let's go. Game 3, it's all on the wire for Mehudi. He needs to make something happen in this game if he wants to put up any fight against Devil's Twin. And Devil's Twin has absolutely destroyed his opponent till now and needs to just destroy him one more time. Both of the guys holding on to the elixir, draining some elixir here and there, draining some useless cards, and trying to gauge what the opponent has. He has seen one card, and that's the Knight, who is not happy with the situation, charging right towards the tower and hits him in the face with no response from Mehu. Mehu drops a lava hound has come out, and guess what? He is so fat that even a Nado was not able to pull him in any direction. And we've kind of got a hint of what Mehudi has. Devil Twins most probably now realize that Mehu is doing the Lava Loon deck and now needs to make adjustments to counter to that. He might not have a lot of cards, the air cards right now, but he has the Nado, he has the minion, the Mega Minion. So the cards are good enough. The placements will come into play because he needs to target the balloon, which does most amount of DPS in the game, and he needs to figure out how he's gonna handle the hound also. The lava hound is so tanky right now, and here comes the minion. The Mega Minion is trying to do damage on the balloon, which he absolutely does. Only will take some death damage from the balloon. So very good hold, but the big push, which is most probably going to come out at double elixir time, you're going to see the proper combo coming out with the lava hound and the balloon followed right after. Now Devil's Twin has the option of going towards an offensive push, or he can go defensive right now, but this is the time where he needs to work offensively, because he knows his opponent will have to defend, otherwise he loses tower. Like you saw, he's pushed his combo through of the graveyard poison. We're also seeing interesting choice of magical archer there. We don't get to see that very often. Magical archer can be a great card, especially if your opponent has these big cards which are following up to a smaller card right behind them. So it does a lot of defense. Now, big 2 units going in the air, no one's stopping them, but Devil's Twin does not care. He's making a big push on the ground itself. Magic Archer comes out. He does really little damage. The Nado also comes out, trying to slow it down. Double balloons are on the field now. Wow, this is a wow coming out of Devil's Twin. He didn't expect this. There's a lot of balloons. The balloon is in the air. Still, the Lava Hound is still alive. Finally goes down. The balloon connects to the main tower. Is doing the damage there. Drops one balloon. Not able to drop the second one, but will do the death damage. Good game is called out, but guess what? Because there's only 3 seconds left, there's some BMing happening there, by the way. Those random skeletons coming out right in the pool. Surprisingly, none of the skeletons actually survive in the water there. So 3-0. Wow. Tahir made quite a quick victory here. 3 sweep, straight 3-0 victory against Mehu. Bad luck, Mehu. It was a good game of Clash Royale. We had, and this is it from my side right now. I hope our analysts in the studio are ready, and so sending it back to the amazing 2 personalities that we have in the studio. That is Geesh and Angela.
Welcome back to the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Masters League going on. We just got done with the Clash Royale match today between Deepak Mehu Mehta and Tahir Devil's Twin Sharif. Now, on a light note, I was expecting Gautam Workaholic Virk to send it off like, oh, coming back to the studio with the vivacious Angela and super magnetic Vagish. Super magnetic. Super because...
Stealing Manoj is super into your
No,
name.
well, super because I'm flatmates with him, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that way.
Hence,
okay.
like, super and magnetic.
I get
so
it, I get it.
It's
I
a very
get it.
bad joke. Let's not mention this
Talking
again.
about the game, my friends. In today's game, we did see Tahir go up against Mehu. Now, first of all, Tahir, oh my God, he's amazing. I think he's done his homework on Mehu completely. These are the picks he's going to make. This is what's going to happen in the game, and this is I'm going to counter it. He had a 2-crown minimum victory in all the 3 games. He was so sure of his placement of cards. He was so sure on how he's going to take this game. He was even sure on what cards exactly Mehu will play against him.
Yeah, I mean, see, you have to understand, it's not just Mehu. Tahir essentially is a kind of a very calculative person.
Yes.
That's what we like to call them. He gauges his moves before. Is it okay for me to call Tahir Devil's Twin Sharif the Batman of Clash Royale? I'll tell you why I'm calling him the Batman of Clash Royale in ESL India Premiership is because you see a lot of people winning by brute force in Clash Royale.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they choose better cards. Tahir, on the other hand, is just like Batman. So I'll tell you why I mentioned. Batman never goes into a fight
Without calculating.
without preparing for it.
Okay.
Like he has a plan for a plan, and then he has a contingency for a plan, and then he has a contingency for the contingency. So you think it's the meticulous thought behind every person appearing on the ESL India Premiership. I will not be surprised if one day when I happen to go meet Tahir in his home, I will find like detailed folders of every person with like Clash Royale cards they'll use and like kind of move sets. And it's acceptable.
Yeah.
It's totally how you should think of a game.
Yeah.
And for that matter, like, pardon me for calling it a game, it's a sport. It's an electronic sport.
Yes.
In sports, in football also, every team has their analytics wing. They research while the game is going on. They make the plays happen because they have folders, they have files in every kind of known gameplay which the opposition has done, and they try to devise a tactic which works against them for better effect. I think Tahir does the same thing. It's not just Mehu. Mehu has just been a victim of Tahir's methodology, which is absolutely commendable.
Yeah.
to be very honest, props to Mehudi for like even like putting up a fight, because
No, I mean, if you look at the third game, both these players were fantastic. But the third game, Tahir was taken a little aback because Mehudi decided to go with the lava and the balloon combination, and that's the kind of thing that's a little risky. So he was going to literally go off with not taking the second tower, but going direct for the king tower. And to a certain extent, Mehudi would have been able to go ahead and do that if that
yeah,
was his in-game plan. But he just misplaced his minions, which got kind of countered by the poison that Tahir had
indeed,
already dropped.
exactly.
But if he would have placed his minions maybe a second or two later, maybe he would have been able to take down the king tower. So, there's also a play called being a little nervous, because, it's your last game, this is your last chance.
So,
you make a slight mistake,
so
and, it costs you so much.
Angie, you have to also think about it. More than being a card-based game,
Yeah,
more than being anything else, Clash Royale, or for that matter, any sport is also a mind game.
definitely.
So,
Definitely.
so there are two ways to achieve victory through mind game. Either you become a Tahir, Devil's Twin, Sharif, and figure out all the permutations and combinations that can happen in this game.
Yeah.
Or you become
Arpan.
it's no, you don't become Arpan. You still become Tahir, Devil's Twin, Sharif,
Yeah.
like an evolved version, wherein what you do is you force your competition into doing exactly what you want. So when you tell me that the minions which were placed by Mehudi were ill-placed or ill-timed for that point of matter,
Yeah.
if you just go back like 5 seconds before and 5 seconds after it, and you see that moment again and again, you'll realize it's not mispositioning. That man has been forced in a
Yeah.
hurry.
It was a
He's
hard
been
move.
cornered.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's like when you get cornered, you don't get that bandwidth to think, and when you constantly apply pressure onto somebody, they are going to break
They are going to
eventually,
break.
right?
And that's exactly what happened this game. I mean, Tahir, I'm telling you this, the day you stop playing professionally, you can definitely join the analyst desk. I mean, he's fantastic.
Oh yeah,
It's
total props to him
he's
for.
a veteran.
Okay then, the cap fell.
He is one of those players, like we call so many players professional players in
Yeah.
the country. But Tahir is one player I have seen. He researches, he understands, he knows what he's
He
going
studies.
for.
He
And
studies.
everybody who studies in life does really well in life.
Yeah, and a lot of people
Yeah.
in esports should know. I mean, last year, Ankit Venom Pant also, it was regarding CS when we were doing the D sports thing.
Yeah.
He made a post on social media regarding how some fan of his was telling him that he's going to leave studies to join esports. And Ankit, I felt so proud. And I think we need more people like Ankit Pant in the esports business, not just CS. Esports, I'm talking about the entire family. He told that kid, listen, man, like studies are important any time
Yeah.
of the day. Like, maybe you don't want to do college, but remember, any time later in life, the day you retire, people are going to ask you for one thing, and when you don't have that one thing, that's where you realize where you went wrong. So
Correct.
it's better now than never or late.
True.
And
That's
I totally support Ankit's thought, and I believe a lot of esports enthusiasts, I won't call them kids, otherwise lest they take offense. I am not a kid, but I am in esports. You are not a kid, you're an
Yeah.
esports. So esports enthusiasts, as I'd like to call them, should take note of the fact that sure, it's great to play with your buddies. Sure, it's great to like have your own kopcha in the house where you like sit and like
Yeah.
conspire with your buddies on how to take over the world, which is definitely a virtual playground set for you.
Yeah.
But that should not limit your personal growth.
That's true.
That's something very important.
Yeah.
And on that note, let
Yes.
us also break away into a couple of minor announcements. First announcement. Sadly, for my Counter-Strike Global Offensive fans, we shall have no match. I've been informed by my production that Team SRA, Slaughter Rage Army, has forfeited today's game. So, sadly, we do not have a Counter-Strike match happening after this. But we do have Dota 2.
Yes.
We do have Dota 2. And, of course, regarding Dota 2, I've also been informed that we'll be back with you shortly after this small break where we will go off stream for a minimum of like 10-15 seconds. We'll be back again with the entire game of Dota 2, which you guys can enjoy here on the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Masters League, brought to you by Omen by HP HyperX and Intel, and presented to you by Nordin Gaming and ESL. I'm Vagish Gotslebhan, that's Angie, and we're going to be back again soon with Dota 2.